Good morning, Tehmina Khan is here in TKMaths is Fun. In today's video, we will focus on trigonometry sketching, which is a part of the syllabus of A Level Mathematics, paper P1, code 9709. So before I show you a question, past paper question, and start solving it, I would like you to revise one of the concept. And what is that? If you see the first graph which I have drawn, y is equals to sine x. And I have taken an example of only sine x because the same rule will apply, either it is cos or tan. What I want to focus here is, so when it is y is equals to sine x, we know the cycle period of sine x is between 0 to 360. You can see it here in the diagram, sketch, sorry. Right, so y is equals to sine x. There is no number, it means it is 0. When there is nothing, it means it is 1. This tells us amplitude. This gives us axis of the curve. Now what are these on the sketch? Do you know that? This line above which and below which the height of the sketch is highest or same. You see from here to here this distance and from here to here this distance. So this line is called axis of the curve and this distance is called amplitude. So when you will have any number here, then axis of the curve will be on that line. So remember this thing. Right now there is nothing, it is 1x. It means between 0 to 360, there will be only one cycle, which is shown here. Now let me write here y is equals to sine 2x. So what do you notice here? It means if you want to know how many cycles will be completed in 0 to 360, you divide 360 by 2, it is coming 180. So can you notice in this green curve which I have drawn from here till here, the cycle is completed, just like the above one. But now it has compressed. So within 360, I will have 2 cycles. Again, I have no number here, it means I have 0 here. So that's why axis of the curve is x-axis. And I have no number here, it means it is 1. So amplitude is 1. If suppose I have written here 3, suppose, then this will be 3 and this will be minus 3, right? Now let's come where students usually get confused. Most of the students are usually comfortable till here. Now it is sine half x. So whenever you have a proper fraction here, the graph actually expand, right? When you have improper fraction here, like 2 is 2 upon 1, so it is improper fraction. So graph or sketch compressed. So now look at this. How will I find out that in what degree my cycle will be completed? What will be the cycle period of the sketch? So same philosophy, 360 divided by half. What did I do here in example 2? 360 divided by 2, right? So now I will do in example 3, 360 divided by half, which is 720. It means my cycle period of the sketch will complete in 720. If I have to sketch between 0 to 360, for example, then only half of it will be sketched. So what do I mean? If question says sketch it completely, then I will have here 720, 360, and then half of this. So my cycle will be, let me just complete here. It will be something like this. Right? So right now, because I'm sketching 0 to 360, so it is still here only. So these questions are very common these days in the last 2-3 years. So let's see the question here now. So keep these in your mind. So this question is 3 sine half x plus 2. I'm just rearranging because the general form we mostly explain as a sine bx plus c, where this c is your axis of the curve, a is your amplitude, and this number helps you to identify the degree of cycle, right? How many cycles will be completed in 360 degree. Okay, so I have to sketch between 0 to 4 pi. Now this is in radian. We know 4 pi means 720 because 2 pi is equals to 360. You should know this very well. So now if I look at this half x, I have already told you that this means sketch will expand. So if I do 360 divided by half, which I have just shown you above, it means within 720, which is equals to 4 pi, my one cycle of sine will be completed, which is like this, just like this one which I have shown you here, right? So now question is asking what is the greatest and least value. So greatest and least value mean what is this value and what is this value. This is the meaning of the question. So how do we do it? In general form, which is like this, C plus A gives you maximum and C minus A gives you minimum. This is the case when A is positive here. If A is negative, this reverses. Anyway, so now I want to find out the greatest and least value. So I will do 2 plus 3 and 2 minus 3. So I got my greatest value and my least value. So maximum or greatest is the same, okay? Okay, now question is saying sketch. So I will sketch it here. This will be my axis of the curve. This will be amplitude, and I have already told you the function of it. So let's see here. So if you see here, this is 0 here. Because axis of the curve is 2, so I have drawn this pink line here. If you see above it, 3 units, right? Amplitude was 3. And below it, which is coming here, if you see here, this is also 3 unit. 1, 2, 3, right? So the distance above, the maximum point above axis of the curve and minimum point below the axis of the curve is same, which is 3 unit up and down. So this is how you will sketch it. You can notice here in the sine graph, the curve passes through the axis of the curve on which degrees? 0, 180 and 360, right? So basically you divide it into 4 parts, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So same I have done here on this line. You can write these numbers which are written here on the x-axis. Also here, it is your choice. Let's see another question. Oh, sorry, C part of the same question, right? This part we have just done. Now the next part is saying, state the number of solutions. So not asking you exactly solution, but asking you how many solutions you will have for this equation. Now what does this mean? You have already sketched this up, right? I have shown you here. This is a sketch of it. Is equals to this. It means if you draw this line in the curve which you have just drawn, at how many points it will intersect. That will be the solution. So what you will do? You will simply do this as y is equals to 5 minus 2x. So I have done this here for you. Just like in coordinate geometry we sketch the line, we will do that. So you can see I have rearranged in black. Here y is equals to 5 minus 2x, y is equals to minus 2x plus 5. What visualization do you get from here? If your gradient is negative, line is like this or like this? Like this, right? So without doing anything, you know what will be the direction of the line. Now I need to plug in 2 points. Which points I'm plugging in? The one which are already written on the x-axis. Can you notice? Because if I will write 1, 2, 3 in place of x, it will be difficult for me to manage and to see where is that point. So I am taking in place of x pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, whatever I like. So I have taken here x is equals to pi in this equation to get the y coordinate. And 1 point is sufficient. You know why? Because here 5 is already telling me y-intercept. So I have this. So now I'm drawing this line. This light green line you can see here. I have taken 1 point at 5, another point as pi and minus 1.284 estimated. So the dark green and light green, how many points they are intersecting? Only at 1 point. So solution is, number of solution is 1 only. Okay. So this question I will explain in the next video. So thank you very much for watching the video, and you can press like and subscribe. You will